Today on Finance News Network, we're joined from Thor Mining Plc by Executive Chairman Mick Billing. Mick, welcome back.
Hi Clive, nice to talk to you again.
Good. Mick, yesterday you put out an ASX announcement regarding process improvements and cost reductions at your Molyhil Tungsten Project in the Northern Territory. Can you take us through that?
Yeah, sure Clive. I guess the story starts a couple of years ago when we put out a feasibility study on the Molyhil Project that said it was worth doing, but unfortunately the mine life was a bit shorter than we would have liked, and as a result of that the economics, while they're okay, we would like to have improved upon them. And over the last couple of years we've been working on doing just that. The process for us has been, one, to work a bit smarter about how we're going to do this job, and two, get our costs down. We can't change the metal prices that we get. We've probably done as much as we can with metal recovery in our processing plant, so those avenues were pretty well closed off. About a year ago we discovered the opportunity to what we call pre-concentrate our ore via ore sorting. And we've spent a fair bit of time over the last few months working through a number of iterations of that to be comfortable that, one, that we can do it reliably and get consistent results, and two, estimate what that will then mean downstream in our process. And we've been pretty happy with the results of this. Ore sorting has shown us that we can process an extra 8% worth of metal in our system without processing any more ore, by kicking out some of the waste material before it gets onto the most expensive part of the plant to build and also to operate. And that's a pretty big saving and a pretty large improvement for us. The ore sorting technology has been around for a little while. It doesn't work on all ores. It's not terribly expensive, but it does involve some fairly clever technology, and we've been lucky to secure the services of some people who produce a pretty good product, and we're very happy with the outcome. About when we did this feasibility study a couple of years ago, the ore reserve report came out, and part of that report was a statement and some calculations that showed that we needed an extra 7% improvement in revenue factors to improve the ore reserve by about 50%, and therefore which would take a 4-year mine life through to a 6-year mine life. And we think with ore sorting, with all other things being equal, we've just about got there. Unfortunately, things don't always remain the same, and we're likely to get an unpleasant surprise somewhere else in our estimates. So we've gone through and looked at a number of other areas where we could get our costs down, and largely these have been around doing things ourselves rather than using contractors or leasing infrastructure. Owner operating the mine has allowed us to reduce our costs from about $24 a tonne down to $20 a tonne. That's per tonne of ore delivered. So it takes into account all the waste that gets removed along the way. And then purchasing rather than leasing the camp and the power generation equipment, which over a slightly longer mine life is probably the smarter way to go anyway, saves us another $7 a tonne. There's a few other ups and downs in our costs as we've gone through them in some detail, and there'll be some more work to do, but so far we've been able to generate cost savings of about $12 a tonne, which is about 13% of our overall operating cost structure, and that's pretty meaningful.
So, Mick, what does this mean for the economics of the project?
Clive, I think there's a couple of things coming out of this. One is that over the initial 4-year life that our current ore reserve tells us we have, we're going to make a lot more money out of the project for no extra investment. There's going to be an extra 8% in revenue, give or take a bit. There'll be a reduction in costs of about 13%, give or take a little bit, over each year of that initial 4-year mine life. There'll be a greater profits, and we should certainly pay back the initial capital much earlier as a result of that. The second point is that with these improved metrics, the mine life at Molyhil should go on for at least another couple of years, and that extra couple of years should certainly deliver additional profits, cash flow and returns to our shareholders, and that's a good thing to do.
Thanks for that. So with the ore processing improvements and cost reductions identified, the DFS will need updating. What time frame for the DFS now?
Sometimes, Clive, that's how long a piece of string it might be. The first part of the process we're doing is still revolves around our metallurgy. We have to prove that the slightly revised characteristics of the ore that presents itself to the plant after ore sorting can still be turned into a saleable product without any changes or any loss in recovery. We're close to signing off on that, but we don't quite have the final numbers yet. I'd expect that in a couple of weeks. From there we would go to an upgraded ore reserve, and after that we can feed the results of that ore reserve into a mine plan, and then on into an upgraded feasibility study. I would expect that we should be able to knock those things off within the next couple of months. So realistically, end of June. I have made time estimates for things in the past and not been able to deliver on those, and giving a time estimate is always a bit fraught, but I think end of June is a reasonable time.
Thanks, Mick, and great news for Molyhil.
Clive, thank you. Have a good day.